Good morning. Welcome to 5:45 a.m. class. Entering into new territory here on Facebook. So we'll go ahead and get started. Why don't you start in either seated or lying down? Right, arms by your side, legs out long. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. Soften the space between your eyes. And unhinge your jaw. Take a full breath in and a long breath out. Maybe you just rolled out of bed literally and practicing in your pajamas, right? This home practice live thing I wouldn't know. Or maybe you've been up for a while, right? Whatever space you're in, just begin to notice. Notice the sensation in your body. Notice the breath. Notice what's going on in your mind, right? We are definitely in uncharted territory here. And the mind can really take over. And so this practice of pausing and noticing becomes really important. And since the mind is wired to think, right, you may have to constantly pull it back into the moment and remind yourself to notice. Notice the inhale, the exhale. I think there have been many times over the last week or so that I've constantly had to tell myself to breathe, right? The breath in and the breath out. Begin to deepen your breath. Right? Maybe you make it a little bit deeper. Maybe you make it audible, right? The breath is the thing that sustains us in community, right? We're all breathing together. And we can do that here even though we're not in the same space. You're in your living room, maybe. I'm in my living room. And then start to bring some movement into your body, right? So movement as if you're just waking up. So maybe you roll your ankles. Maybe you roll your wrists. Maybe you do a full body stretch. Right, and as you move, you continue to breathe and notice and pause, right? there's been a lot of things that have been canceled and postponed and put on hold, and it creates this sense of fear. But there's a lot of things that aren't canceled, right? Love, compassion, kindness, right? Grace, laughter, right? So lean into that, right, as you move. Hug the knees into the chest and start rocking side to side, right? Massage the low back. Take a breath in, and on the exhale, you're going to drop your knees over to the right. Just a gentle side twist. Shoulders stay on the mat. Take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale, your knees come back to center. Exhale, knees drop over to the left. I teach in a lot of spaces, and I always have these markers, and I have no idea what my markers are for right and left, right? It's sort of disorienting, but then again, right, if I come back to the breath, right, lean into that, be okay. Take a breath in, you come back to center, right knee comes into the chest, left leg goes out long. Take your left hand to your right knee and cross the right knee over the body. Take a breath in. Exhale, right leg goes out long. Left knee comes in on the inhale. Exhale, you cross the left knee over to the right. Take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale, you come back to center. Hug both knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug, right? This self-isolation and social distancing, like it's really important that we take self-care. Right? And this practice, this showing up, this noticing, this dropping into the body is a way that we can have some self-care for ourselves so that we can lean into love. Start rocking front to back, and then make your way to hands and knees, tabletop. So shoulders are stacked over the wrist, hips are over the knees, fingers are spread out wide, really press down into the mat. Maybe spread your fingers so wide that you can see the colors of your mat. Right. Spine is long, crown of the head's reaching forward. Take a breath in. You're going to drop the belly, tilt the heart, come into cow pose. Then exhale, you're going to push down through your hands, round the spine, come into cat. Good. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart. Exhale, you round. And when you round, really push down into your hands and feel the articulation of your spine. Beautiful. Exhale, inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart. Exhale, cat. Right, and move through that sequence maybe 2 or 3 more times. And maybe you want to put in some C curves where you look over the left shoulder, over the right shoulder. Right, tuning into the body, really dropping in. Right, I've noticed in those moments where my mind starts to take over, if I get into my body, like it feels like home and it feels a little bit more grounding and solid. Right? And come back to a neutral spine. Hug the belly button into the spine. Take a breath in. Lift the right leg in the air behind you. Really flex the foot like you want to put your footprint on the back wall. And when you're ready, go ahead and lift that left hand, reaching it forward. So there's this pull between the left fingertips, right? And a push through the right foot. Beautiful. Take a breath in. Exhale, lower hand and knee to the mat. Inhale, left leg lifts in the air behind you. And when you're ready, go ahead and lift the right hand forward. Like if I were in front of you, you'd want to shake my hand. Continuing to breathe and notice. Take a hand and knee, come down to the mat. You're going to do that one more time on each side. Take a breath in, right leg lifts. And when you're ready, that left hand lifts up. Maybe wobble, right? Balance is not innate. It's not something that we do. We have to practice. Just like we have to practice the pause, the breath, the dropping into the body. Right? So you wobble and you notice. Take a breath in, exhale, hand and knee come down to the mat. Your next inhale, the left leg's going to lift, and when you're ready, lift that right hand forward. Beautiful. And notice how you talk to yourself if you wobble, right? That's really important, right? The conversations in my head that I have about the uncertainty of things really has an impact on how I feel. And it's important to notice that. Take a breath in, exhale, hand and knee come down to the mat. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. My guess is it's probably your first down dog of the morning, right? Sometimes I know my body can be a little cranky for this first downward facing dog. So maybe pedal your feet out if you've got a movement you make. Right, so hands are strong on the mat, shoulder blades are moving down the back. Maybe there's a slight bend in your knee. Right? And just find some stillness. Noticing what's alive, what's present. I mean, heck, you may say, Lucinda, I'm barely awake. I just rolled out of bed. I haven't had coffee. That's okay too. Take a breath in. You're going to glide forward to high plank and pause. Right, so shoulders are stacked over the wrist. You can absolutely drop your knees to the mat. Belly button's hugging into the spine. Take a breath in, exhale, downward facing dog. Right, so go ahead and move in and out of down dog and high plank. You should be able to do this without having to move your hands and feet, and that's how you're going to know that your downward facing dog is the right stance, right? So you inhale, you glide forward to a high plank. Exhale, you move back to downward facing dog. Inhale, glide forward, high plank. Thigh bones are lifting up towards the ceiling. Really press your hands down into the mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and a long breath out. Walk your hands back to your feet. Take your feet wide to the edges of the mat and come into a forward fold. And you can grab opposite elbows and come into ragdoll. Let the head and neck release. Drop the thoughts, drop the fear. Breathe in love, compassion, kindness. Fill up on those things. Those are the things that we hold on to, we lean into. Take a breath in. Exhale, fingertips come down to the mat. Left hand stays underneath your nose. Right hand's going to lift up and you're going to twist open. Maybe you bend into that left knee, opening up the heart. Take a breath in. Right hand comes down, left hand comes up. Exhale, left hand comes down. Toe heel your feet back to hip distance. Inhale to a halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, you fold. Walk your hands out to plank and pause. Take a full breath in and a long breath out. Next exhale, you're going to lower down to the mat. Body comes down in one piece. Inhale, heart lifts to cobra. Exhale, you lower down. We're going to do 2 more of those. Using the core to lift up, hands are light. Inhale, heart lifts to cobra. Exhale, you lower. Last one. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, you lower down. Push back to downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale, you look forward. Walk your hands to your feet. It can be a lot of steps or it can be 1 step, right? Standing at the top of your mat, inhale to a halfway lift, spine is long. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Exhale, you fold forward. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Plant your hands, step back to plank, and pause. Take a breath in and a breath out. Exhale, you lower down. Heart lifts to cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Look forward, feet to the hands. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing, grounding down into the feet. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you plant your hands, step back to plank, lower down. Heart lifts to cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. So that whole thing is called the vinyasa, and you can skip that altogether and just land in downward facing dog. Your choice. I don't know what you're doing. You could actually be in child's pose the whole time too, and you'd be practicing, right? It's self-care. It's tuning in to what you need. 1 more, take a breath in, look forward, walk, step, or jump your feet to your hands. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Exhale, you fold. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank, rinse it off, move through vinyasa. From downward facing dog, take your knees wide to the edges of the mat. Come into child's pose. All right, so in child's pose, your knees are down, your hips are back towards your heels, fingertips reaching towards the front of your mat. And just take a moment to check in. Check in with your body, with your breath. right? This place, this grounding place. I keep threatening to do this in Wegmans. I think now is the perfect time to drop into it, particularly in the toilet paper aisle, right? But you notice. And every time that your mind starts to go to the thoughts or go to the fear, right? Can you come back to the breath? Can you come back to love? Walk your fingertips forward. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Come back into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, take a breath in. Right leg lifts in the air behind you, if you have room. On the exhale, you're going to step it forward in between your hands. You're in a low lunge, right? So in your low lunge, your right knee is stacked over the ankle. You're on the ball of the left foot. Spine is long. Fingertips can be down on the mat, or if you have a prop, you can use those. Or if you want something a little more challenging, you can actually hover the fingertips. Take a breath in and a breath out. Fingertips are going to press down into the mat. Right foot's going to step back. You're in high plank. Push back to downward facing dog. Left leg lifts in the air behind you on an inhale. Exhale, you step it forward, low lunge. Right, so your feet are in two separate lanes. Right thigh bone is lifting up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in and a breath out. Left foot steps back to meet the right. You land in high plank. Take a full breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. So we're going to continue to build on this sequence. Take a breath in. Right leg lifts in the air behind you. Exhale, you step it forward, low lunge. Left hand stays down on the mat. Right hand lifts up, low lunge twist. Right shoulder stacked over the left. Heart opens. The heart has to be open so that we don't get trapped in the fear. Take a breath in. Exhale, right hand comes down to the mat. Step back to plank. Take a breath in. Exhale, you lower down. Heart lifts to cobra on an inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts on an inhale. Exhale, step it forward in between your hands, low lunge. Right hand stays down, left hand lifts up, low lunge twist. Really make sure that that left knee is stacked over the left ankle and you're high on the ball of your right foot. Lift that right thigh bone up towards the ceiling. And sometimes that right heel likes to kick out. See if you can bring it back into center. Good. Take a breath in. Left hand comes down to the mat. You step back to plank. Exhale, you lower down. Move through vinyasa. You land in downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Right leg lifts on the inhale. Exhale, you step it forward, low lunge. Left hand stays down, right hand comes up, low lunge twist. Take Take a breath in. Exhale, right hand comes down. Inhale, you're going to rise to high crescent lunge. So your hands can be framing your ears, or you can bring your hands to heart center. Right knee stacked over the right ankle. Keep bending into that right knee. You got it. Take a breath in. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Move through vinyasa. Right? Remember, you can move through the vinyasa, or you can skip that altogether and meet up in downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Left leg lifts in the air behind you. Exhale, you step it forward, low lunge. Right hand stays down. Left hand lifts, low lunge twist. As you inhale, can the spine get long and the heart open up a little bit more? Beautiful. Take a breath in. Left hand comes down on the exhale. Inhale, you rise to high crescent lunge. And maybe you notice the sounds of your house starting to wake up. Definitely different noises than the yoga studio. Take a breath in. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Move through vinyasa. Meet up in downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. Right leg lifts on an inhale. Exhale, you step it forward, low lunge. Right hand lifts on an inhale, low lunge twist. Exhale, the right hand comes down. Inhale, you rise to high crescent lunge. This time on an inhale, you're going to stretch the arms up overhead. Exhale, left hand comes forward, right hand comes back. Inhale, arms come back overhead. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Move through vinyasa. Or don't. From downward facing dog, take a breath in. Left leg lifts on an inhale. Exhale, you step it forward, low lunge. Your next inhale, left hand lifts up, low lunge twist. Exhale, left hand comes down. On the inhale, you rise to high crescent lunge. Where can you soften here? Can you let the shoulders fall away from your ears? Unhinge your jaw. Soften the space between your eyes. Take a breath in, arms reach up overhead, right hand comes forward, left hand comes back. Inhale, you come back to center. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. You step back to plank and pause. You breathe, you notice. Maybe you're hot, building up some heat. Maybe you think, why did I want to do this at 5:45 in the morning, right? But you got it, you're good. Take 3 more full inhales and full exhales. On your third one, lower down to the mat. Heart lifts to cobra, and we'll meet up in downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, take a full breath in and a long breath out. And check in with yourself, your body. Right leg's going to lift on an inhale. Exhale, you step it forward, low lunge. Right hand lifts on an inhale, low lunge twist. Exhale, that right hand comes down to the mat. Inhale, you rise to high crescent lunge. Keeping that right knee stacked over the ankle. Take a breath in, arms reach up overhead. On an inhale, exhale, left hand forward, right hand back. Listen, this time on the exhale, left hand's going to come down to the mat. That right hand lifts up, low lunge twist. Take a breath in. Right hand comes down to the mat. Move through vinyasa. From downward facing dog, take a breath in. That left leg's going to lift on an inhale. Exhale, you step it forward, low lunge. You know where we're going. Right hand stays down, left hand lifts up, low lunge twist. You got it. You breathe. You notice. Take a breath in. Exhale, left hand comes down. High crescent lunge on the inhale. Exhale, right hand comes forward, left hand comes back. This time on your exhale, that right hand's going to come down, low lunge twist. Beautiful. Take a breath in, left hand comes down. You step back to plank, move through vinyasa. Take a breath in and a breath out. From downward facing dog, take a breath in, look forward, feet to the hands. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Exhale, chair pose. You're going to bend the knees, sit the hips back. Weights in the back side of your body, right? Trust it. Like a lot of this that's going on, it's trust. Like we're trusting in the good. We're leaning into the good. So lean into the back side of the body. Toes are light. Knees are stacked over the ankles. Arms can reach up and frame the ears, or you can bring them to heart center. Hug the belly button into the spine. Soften your face. Where can you bring some ease? Notice what comes up. Take a breath in. Exhale, you fold forward. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Exhale, chair pose. You didn't think we were just going to do it once, did you? Notice what's alive. Can you breathe into any discomfort? Take a full breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Take your feet wide to the edges of the mat. Come into a forward fold. So in this forward fold, you can grab opposite elbows, come into ragdoll. If you have another favorite forward fold, you want to reach your hands behind your back and clasp them. Get a shoulder stretch, you can do that. only requirement is that you breathe. Maybe ask yourself what you need in this moment to feel more love and less fear. Take a breath in. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Toe heel your feet back to hip bone distance. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. You're going to grab the left wrist with the right hand. You're going to ground down into both feet. Inhale, lengthen up towards the ceiling. And exhale, you're going to lean towards the right. Feel the stretch on the side body. Can you keep your weight evenly distributed in your feet? Take a breath in, come back to center. Switch hands. So left hand grabs the right wrist. Inhale, you stretch up. Exhale, lean over towards the left. A different side, different sensation. Just notice. Inhale, you come back to center. Arms reach up overhead, look up. Exhale, you fold forward. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. Pause. Take a breath in. Exhale, you lower down. Heart lifts to cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And find some stillness in downward facing dog. Where can you find some ease? Maybe that ease is in your thoughts. Where can you soften? Take your knees wide, come into child's pose. Feeling your forehead on the mat. You're going to walk your fingertips forward. In both hands, you're going to walk them over to the right. They're probably going to come off of the mat. Press down into the fingertips. And continue to sit your hips back towards your heels. You're going to feel the stretch somewhere in your left side body. I always feel this in my shoulders because that's where I carry all of the things, right? All of the emotion, the tension. You may feel it somewhere else. That's okay. You breathe into that space. Your next inhale, you're going to walk your fingertips back to center. You're going to pause there on the exhale and then walk your fingertips over towards the left. Come into this on the other side. And each pose is an opportunity to re-engage with our body, to drop in, to notice. It's also an opportunity to engage in a different way, right? Come on, it's normal. We're going to have the crazy thoughts, the fear, the panic, the what ifs, right? But each time we notice, it's an opportunity to change the narrative. Take a breath in and a breath out. Fingertips come back to center. Press the hands down into the mat, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, take a breath in, look forward, feet to the hands. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Exhale, hands come to heart center and pause. So moving into tree pose, you're going to shift your weight into the left foot. Right foot's going to come to the inside of the left calf or thigh. It can also stay, your toes can stay down on the mat. And sometimes these poses really mimic real life, right? So tree pose, we wobble, we fall in and out of it. Feels like we're on shaky ground. I feel like the ground is changing very quickly. So if you fall, if you wobble, you come back in. And in tree pose, your hands can stay at heart center. Your hands can reach up overhead. And find something to focus on. Or maybe you close your eyes if you want more of a challenge. Take a breath in. Exhale, that right foot's going to meet the left on the mat. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Moving into tree on the other side, ground down into that right foot, really pressing into all four corners. Left foot comes up, toes stay on the mat, or place it on the inside of the right thigh or calf. You just want to stay away from the knee. And then when you're ready, your arms can reach up overhead. They can clasp behind your back. You can close your eyes. You breathe, you notice. Beautiful. Take a breath in and a breath out. Left foot comes down to the mat. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, you fold forward. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Plant your hands, step back to plank. Take a breath in. Exhale, you lower down. Heart lifts on an inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, take a breath in. Right leg lifts on an inhale. Exhale, you step it forward, low lunge. Left hand stays down, right hand comes up, low lunge twist. Take a breath in, right hand comes down to the mat. Inhale, you rise to high crescent lunge. Exhale, left hand comes forward, right hand comes back. Take a breath in. Left hand comes down to the mat. You're in a low lunge twist. Take a breath in. Right hand comes down. You step back to plank. Move through vinyasa. From downward facing dog, take a breath in. Left leg lifts in the air. Exhale, you step it forward, low lunge. Right hand stays down, left hand lifts up, low lunge twist. You know where we're going. Take a breath in. Exhale, left hand comes down. Inhale, you rise to high crescent lunge. Exhale, right hand comes forward, left hand comes back. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. Unhinge your jaw. Soften your thought. Take a breath in. Right hand comes down to the mat. You're in a low lunge twist for the second time. Take a breath in. Left hand comes down to the mat. Step back to plank and move through vinyasa. Beautiful. From downward facing dog, take a breath in. Look forward, feet to the hands. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Exhale, you fold. Fingertips are down on the mat. Right leg's going to lift in the air. Behind you, you're in standing splits. Take a breath in. Exhale, that right foot's going to touch down at the back of the mat. You're in a low lunge. So the left knee stacked over the ankle. Really lift the right thigh bone up towards the ceiling. Right hand stays down, left hand lifts up, low lunge twist. Right, and you notice here what it feels like compared to the first time you did this. Take a breath in. Left hand comes down to the mat. Right foot steps up to meet the left. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Left leg lifts in the air behind you. Standing splits. Can you draw the heart forward? Take a breath in. Exhale. Left foot steps it to the back of the mat. Low lunge. Left hand stays down. Right hand comes up. Open the heart. Take a breath in and a breath out. Left foot steps up to meet the right at the top of the mat. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, move it through vinyasa. And we meet up in downward facing dog. Take a deep belly breath in and a long breath out. Beautiful. You're going to walk your feet through your hands and come down to your back. Hug your knees into your chest. side to side. Back where we started, maybe you notice, maybe there's some ease, some softness. Take a breath in. You're going to drop both knees over to the right. Arms can go out wall to wall. Look over the left shoulder. Take a breath in. You come back to center. Knees drop over towards the left. I know for me in my own practice, when it starts to wind down, I get easily distracted and the thoughts can start to creep in. So can you stay present? Can you stay here? Can you stay in your body? Inhale, you come back to center. Hug both knees into the chest. You're going to reach in between your thighs. Grab the outside edges of your feet. Come into happy baby. Here, spine stays long onto the mat, tailbone's reaching towards the front. Maybe you rock side to side. Yeah, I've never seen a baby still. You're energetically pulling your knees towards your armpits. Release the grip on your feet. Right knee stays hugged into your chest. Left leg goes out long. Cross the right knee over the body. Take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale, come back to center, right leg goes out long, left knee comes in. Exhale, cross it over the body. Inhale, you come back to center. Hug both knees into the chest. Legs go straight up in the air. You can put your hands underneath your back. Or if you have a prop, you can place it there. Point your feet, you can flex them. Take a breath in. Exhale, right foot comes down to the mat. And left foot comes down. Setting up for Shavasana, this final pose of the practice. Arms down by your side. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. Right, to me, this is the hardest pose of the practice, really being able to be still and rest both body and mind, particularly with so much going on right now. So can you take these few last moments of silence and rest and soak them in to fill up for whatever comes your way today. Take a full breath in and a long breath out. Shavasana. Start to bring your attention back to your breath. Some movement into your fingers and toes. Keeping your eyes closed, roll gently to your right side and pause. Things that are not canceled: love, kindness, compassion, integrity, grace, laughter. Lean into these things when the thoughts get overwhelming. Love over fear always. Keeping your eyes closed, help yourself back up to seated. Together, take a breath in, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Together, take a full breath in and a long breath out. The light and truth in me sees and honors that in each of you. Thank you so much for spending some time with me this morning. This will live on Facebook and it will live on the Balance website. You can access it whenever you would like. I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Namaste.